Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse collective build Starro The Conqueror. He's a Target exclusive Build-A-Figure. He's part of the Crime Syndicate wave. This is the second time they've made a Target exclusive Build-A-Figure that you have to build over the course of about a year. First, we had Ultraman. He came with Starro's eye. Then Superwoman. She came with his mouth and the top tentacle. Then we had Owlamman. He came with 2 more tentacles. And finally, we have Power Ring, able to complete Starro The Conqueror, and he comes with the bottom 2 tentacles. The next Build-A-Figure they're going to be doing is going to be a Flashpoint wave. We don't actually know what the Build-A-Figure is yet, but I'm sure we'll see it pretty soon. So, let's go ahead and start putting him together. The moment I've been waiting for well over 6 months. Well, I'll start off with the first figure. This is Ultraman. He's essentially the evil version of Superman, part of the Crime Syndicate from another Earth in the multiverse. He comes with Starro's eye. The first and front piece of Starro The Conqueror. He's got the main eye in the middle, 2 smaller eyes here. The texturing and sculpt is excellent on this guy. Kind of hollow on the back. Then we have Superwoman. She was the second of the 4 figures. She comes with Starro's mouth and the top tentacle. This thing looks fantastic. You can see all the rows of teeth, and even teeth deep down inside. Definitely reminds me of the Sarlacc Beast from Return of the Jedi. All these little suction cups, tentacles. Looks fantastic. I've seen some really nice paint jobs to bring out all those details. That's where the eye's going to connect. And once you put those 2 pieces together, you've got Starro starting to take a little bit of form here. And here's Owlman. He's the third of the 4 figures. And personally, my favorite of them, as he's an evil version of Batman. He comes with 2 of Starro's tentacles. Continuing the very well sculpted tentacles. You can see all the details on the inside there. And here's Starro with the first 3 pieces together. Definitely starting to look like Starro The Conqueror, the giant starfish. And to the backside, looking every bit as good as the front. Ton of sculpting detail on this guy. And finally, there's the Power Ring. This is an evil version of John Stewart, Green Lantern. He comes with the bottom 2 tentacles of Starro The Conqueror. And finally, we get to put them together. Decent sculpting, some pegs for the top half, and those same kind of tentacles. Now, I was a little surprised they were giving us Power Ring. My money was set on getting Johnny Quick, the evil version of Flash. But at least McFarlane gave us a couple of different options to substitute in there. And finally, here it is, the moment that I've been waiting for probably about 9 months. Starro The Conqueror. Complete. The latest Build-A-Figure in McFarlane's DC Multiverse line. Target exclusive, collector build Starro The Conqueror, and he looks amazing. My only complaint, I wish he was a little bit bigger. I mean, he's a good size, but if you watch a movie The Suicide Squad, that thing was giant. A few more inches would have been pretty nice on this guy, and I think they could have pulled it off. Fit some extra tentacles in the packaging. They sure could have made it work. That being said, I'm loving this guy. He looks awesome. So let's take a look at him. Starting with the eyes in the middle. 1 giant eye, 2 smaller eyes. Then he's got 5 different tentacles. Like I said before, the sculpting detail is amazing on him. The paint job is not bad, but I've seen some really neat custom paint jobs to really bring out the details. And just when you think it couldn't get better, look at the inside. He's got the mouth with the different rows of teeth, suction cups all over him, and each one has intricate sculpting details on the inside. This is definitely one of McFarlane's better Build-A-Figures. They're all pretty good, but this is one of the top ones. And just a closer look at his face or head sculpt, if you'd even call it that. Here's a close-up look at his eyes, main part of Starro. And here's a closer look at the backside, his mouth, his little suction cups. Looks fantastic in a grotesque sort of way. And in case you were curious just how much bigger Starro is than a typical McFarlane figure, here's this entire wave of Crime Syndicate figures next to Starro the Conqueror. He's not quite twice as tall as they are, but he's considerably bigger. In addition to Starro himself, he also has these accessories. Each one of these 4 figures came with a smaller version of Starro the Conqueror. These are his little parasites. They look exactly like him. 3 eyes, the tentacles, the mouth on the inside with no paint detail, made of a bendable material. They're going to wrap and stretch around the torso of the figures. He's going to mind control them. Starro the Conqueror. Here are all 4 members of the Crime Syndicate with the Starro parasites attached. He's going to control the entire Crime Syndicate, the evil version of the Justice League of America. I can only imagine what he's going to make them do. Here's this Starro parasite, next to a Starro parasite from the Mattel Batman Brave and the Bold line. This one's a little bit smaller. Will fit on some of their faces, but it's intended for their torsos as well. Similar type concept, just the detail is a lot stronger on the McFarlane one. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure, his assembly, and his accessories, now let's check out his height. From bottom to the very top tentacle, standing out just a little bit over 12 inches tall, which can translate to about 30 centimeters. He's big, but I still wish he was a little bigger. I feel like if McFarlane really wanted to, they could sell Starro the Conqueror in a box. You can see maybe the eye sticking out, and then have 5 giant tentacles in there that you have to assemble yourself. I could see him being a mega figure like that, and being considerably bigger than this. The 5 tentacles would be 100% the same sculpt. Just a thought. I would love it if this guy was about twice as big, but I realize that's a bit unrealistic, especially with how much detail they put into this guy. Now let's check out his articulation, and it's definitely not your traditional McFarlane figure. He has no actual traditional articulation, just one solid piece, but the tentacles have a bendy wire in them. You can move them at least a little bit there, but he's not really holding his pose too well in there. The rubbery skin is just far too thick. I mean, you get something out of there, but it likes to revert back. So, articulation, a little bit of a disappointment, but very understandable. Now let's switch to a city street type setup for this next part. Here's Starro walking the streets. He's planning to conquer this entire island of Santa Prisca. You can try to put him closer to the camera to alter the audience's perception, but to me, he doesn't really look like he's giant in the city. Just looks like he's up close in front of the camera, which is exactly what he is. Here's the remaining team from the Suicide Squad taking down all the Starro parasites. Starro's trying to take control of this group, but they're not going to allow it. Bloodsport's using his smaller pistols to shoot him down. Ratcatcher 2 has her mask on. Harley Quinn and Polka Dot Man just trying to dodge the parasites. And King Shark, too strong for them to really matter. Bloodsport is continuing to shoot the parasites. Ratcatcher 2 has one attached to her, but her mask is going to keep her safe. And then King Shark, he's just brushing them off. They're having trouble getting through his thick hide. Here's the remaining team from the Suicide Squad. Bloodsport, Harley Quinn, Polka Dot Man, Ratcatcher, and King Shark. They're leaving Santa Prisca, per Amanda Waller's orders. But Bloodsport here, he has a conscience. He doesn't show it a lot of the time. He hears the town dying, getting destroyed, and decides to turn around and save the city. They all start to get geared up and head back the direction where Starro's destroying the city, where all the action is. Bloodsport's leading the pack. Harley Quinn has her javelin. Polka Dot Man's ready for action. Ratcatcher 2 has got her device to control the rats. And King Shark, he's got his mouth ready to eat some num-nums. And here are these 5, I don't know if I'd call them heroes exactly, these 5 members of the Suicide Squad taking down Starro the Conqueror. They're going to save the city of Santa Prisca, that entire island.
Peacemaker.
Starfish is a slang term for a butthole. Think there's any connection?
No.
Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures. Starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here's Starro with this wave of figures. This is a Crime Syndicate wave. Get all 4 of these guys, and you complete Starro the Conqueror. There are some missing members of the Crime Syndicate, and hopefully McFarlane will trick them out as one-offs over the near future. But their track record on completing teams isn't exactly the best. Add in this Flash from the Page Punchers line, and this Firestorm from Blackest Night, and they're good substitutes for Johnny Quick, the evil version of Flash, and Deathstorm, the evil version of Firestorm, part of the Crime Syndicate, depending on which version you watch. Now let's check him out. Next to some other Build-A-Figures. Here he is, next to the build of Batmobile. That was the first wave of figures McFarlane made, the first collector-build wave, and was to build this out-of-scale Batmobile. I mean, the Batmobile itself looks good, but I personally don't like the concept of having these underscaled accessories or vehicles. Give me something I can use with the figures. I'm glad they were forced to go to Build-A-Figures instead of Build a Batmobile. Their original plan was to make a bunch of these different collector-built Batmobiles. Yeah, they would look pretty cool lined up, but still useless for your action figure collection. Then McFarlane switched to collector Build-A-Figures, which I was very happy about. They made Merciless from Dark Knight's Metal. And then they made Bane from Batman The Last Night on Earth. And King Shark from the Suicide Squad. Here's Starro next to Darkfather from Death Metal. Now we've got Starro next to the Batman Joker robot from Batman Beyond Future's End. This is the previous, last year's Target exclusive collector Build-A-Figure. They released this throughout the entire year, just like Starro took almost the entire year to come out. The next one is going to be a Flashpoint themed wave. We don't actually know what the Build-A-Figure is, but most guesses seem to point to Cyborg. Here's Starro next to the collective build horse from Batman The Dark Knight Returns. It wasn't a traditional type of collective Build-A-Figure. Really cool concept, and a horse in this scale is very uncommon. Then they made collective build Atrocitus from Blackest Night. He's a Red Lantern. And here he is, next to collective build Solomon Grundy from Batman Arkham City. Here's Starro next to the Darkest Night. This is the Batman who laughs in a new form, and he's from the Speed Metal wave. Here's the entire collection of McFarlane collective Build-A-Figures. We've got quite a bit so far. I believe the next one is going to be a Teen Titans collective build Trigon wave. Here's Starro next to several recent Mega Figures. Mega Figures are typically a little bit big than collective Build-A-Figures. Starro ranks up with some of the tallest ones. He actually looks to be even taller than the tallest figure in the line, the Titan Joker. And you know what? It looks like Starro may have claimed the throne as the tallest McFarlane DC Multiverse figure yet, by just a hair over the Titan Joker's mohawk. Then, next to several more Mega Figures. Now let's check him out. Next is one of their recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is with this Target exclusive Crime Syndicate wave. And here he is with the Amazon exclusive Tim Drake Robin. Then, with the Amazon exclusive Batman Family 5-pack. Here's Starro next to the most recent McFarlane gaming wave. We've got Sick Joker from Arkham City, and then Red Hood and Scarecrow from Arkham Knight. And here he is next to McFarlane's DC Mortal Kombat 11 offerings, the Batman Who Laughs and Joker. And here he is with the Speed Metal wave, collect to build the Darkest Night. Then, next to the Arkham City wave, collect to build Solomon Grundy. And now, here's Starro with some recent gold label Target exclusive figures, Defiance Deathstroke, Kyle Rayner Green Lantern from Changing the Guard, the Black Adam movie, Black Adam with Throne, and the Justice League Endless Winter Wonder Woman variant. Here's Starro next to the most recent Page Puncher wave. This is the third wave, and it's a Flash themed wave. We have Atom, Flash, Gorilla Grodd, Heatwave, and Captain Cold. And here he is next to the second wave of Page Punchers. This was based off Injustice 2. Green Arrow and Batman. Then, with the first wave of page punchers, this is a Black Adam wave. Batman, Constantine, Superman, and Black Adam. And now, with a couple more recently released Gold Label Target exclusive figures, Ocean Master, and the 30th anniversary of Batman for Batman the Animated Series. Here's Starro, with a couple of McFarlane Toy Store exclusive figures, Rebirth Kid Flash, and Hush Superman. And here he is, with some recent Gold Label Walmart exclusive figures, Speed Metal Dark Flash, Rebirth Shazam, Azrael Batman Armor, and Parallax Hal Jordan. Now if you're like me, and you wish that Starro was a little bit taller, and it doesn't mean he's a bad figure, I'm still absolutely in love with this figure. He's awesome. My disappointments are his size and his articulation. It's rather pointless. But anyway, he's scaled really nice next to his McFarlane Superpowers figures. Now let's check him out next to some action figures from different various companies to see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know what lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the large action figure lines I collect and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, with some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And here he is, next to a scrub brush for the shower. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, with some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here he is, standing with some NECA figures. Then, with some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here he is, next to some Mezco 112 collective figures. Then, with some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here he is, next to some Mafex figures. Then, with some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here he is, with some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazz Wars Fortnite figures. Overall, Starro's a fantastic figure. The sculpt is amazing. Whoever sculpted this thing at McFarlane should get a promotion. It looks fantastic. Now, my biggest complaints about this guy are going to be his size. And he is huge, do not misunderstand me. But watch the Suicide Squad. Makes you feel like I really wish there was an option for a much larger Starro the Conqueror out there. And then, his paint job. It looks good, but it could look a lot better. That's one issue McFarlane Toys have. They have excellent sculpts, but often weak paint jobs. I see a lot of customizers really bring out the sculpt with a fresh paint coat, a nice wash, etc. Now keep in mind, McFarlane figures are typically $20 figures, so I still think they are amazing for that price point. Now he does get 2 awards. Number 1, he's the tallest McFarlane DC Multiverse figure yet, and he's also the least articulated one. His articulation, it's utterly pointless. You can take his little hands or whatnot and just move them the tiniest bit forward. The bendy wire, it really doesn't hold that much different poses. It's a little bit of disappointment there. It's mostly a nice standalone piece, but it does look fantastic. If I were to rate this guy, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.